Hi guys, and welcome back to another Football Manager 2019 video. Now you guys seem to really enjoy the last one where I basically just shown you guys how I got Sunderland from League One back to the Premier League in 2 seasons. Now I know a lot of you guys have been asking for me to do a proper series, where we play a few games and then, it's just a few games per episode and what have you. But I think I'm going to wait until FM20 to come out until I do that, because right now I'm actually just really enjoying this save. And, I get into it a lot. And as you guys know, you can plough so many hours to Football Manager. And, I think it'd start to frustrate me and make me resent the game if I needed to stop every so often and be like, alright, okay, I need to edit a video now. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, what this video is I'm going to go through the first season we've had back in the Premier League. So if you didn't see the last video, I'd highly recommend it, or this one isn't really going to make too much sense to you. So basically, as you guys know, when I did slightly preview it, we didn't get off to the greatest of starts in the Premier League at all. After winning League One, we won the Championship by even more points than we did in League One. But I'll go through the transfer business we did do for the Premier League. So we brought in, and it wasn't massive. We didn't have a huge... We didn't have a huge bit of transfer business going on because we only had about, I think it was about 28 million, something like that. And to really build for the Premier League, you need a little bit more than that. And considering our squad was just sort of really decent Championship standard, I think we got promoted way too early, far too early. But anyway, we did manage to snag Patrick Roberts for 575k from Man City, which was absolutely excellent because I think he was in his last year of his contract, and he was up for sale, so we managed to get him for really cheap. Then we also got Daniel James from Swansea. He's currently in Manchester United in real life. Got him for 6.75 million, and what a signing he has proved to be, which you shall soon see later on. We sold Donald Love. We bought Scott McTominay, who was immediately installed as captain of the club. Young lad, he's a big central midfielder, he's a big presence in there, and his leadership skills are fantastic, so I put him as captain straight away. Timothy Fosu-Mensah, he was brought in on a free. He was released from Manchester United, so we brought him as well, so he did a very solid job. And then we brought in Max Lowe, the left back from Derby, for 5 million, which gives us a bit more variation at the back. We sold John McLaughlin but this was in January. We sold John McLaughlin, and we bought Jonas Omlin in, a different goalkeeper. He was scouted. I hadn't heard of him, but he was scouted, and his rating was absolutely through the roof. And that kind of, even though I did say we had probably about 19 million left in the bank at this point, but because his wages were so high, we had to adjust the budget, and we managed to get him in, but he was on probably the heaviest wage at the club, Jonas Ullman, and he is a very good goalkeeper. We also sold George Honeyman for 300k to Preston. We loaned in Marcus Edwards from Spurs for the back end of the season, and we also sold Max Power to Wigan. But as you can see, there's no strikers there. Big thing that really frustrated me is that any striker with any form of Premier League experience, which is what I really wanted, none of them were interested in even talking to us, which was really frustrating. And like I say, after the original summer transfer market had passed, after that window had passed, we still had about 19 million left, and I thought we could get a decent striker here, but none of them of Premier League ability. It was all Championship strikers who were interested in coming, not one Premier League striker. I tried to go in for Iheanacho, he wasn't interested. There was a few other players as well, but none of them were going for it at all. So I thought this is going to be a real struggle, because at the moment, going into this new Premier League season, up top, all we had was Jason Cummings, Will Grigg, and Ben Brereton as well, who was excellent. All three of them were really good the season before, but the Premier League is a massive jump. So that is all the transfer business. But let's go to the fixtures, and I'll show you what has gone on there. So pre-season, we got off to a flyer, winning 6-1 against Hearts, beating Dunfermline 3-0, beating Nantes, I don't know how you pronounce it, 4-2, beating Paris FC 3-1, and then we ended by beating Darlington by 7-0. So I thought, it doesn't even matter that we haven't got a striker here, or a Premier League striker, because we're smashing everyone. Then the season began. We lost 4-0 to Arsenal, lost 3-0 to Liverpool, lost 2-1 to Everton, although we did finally get our first goal of the season. It was Will Grigg who got that. Then we again played Norwich and lost 3-2. We were just losing for the fun of it. Then our tides and our luck started to turn ever so slightly as we did beat Bristol City by 2-0. Our first win of the season. It's took nearly a month to get our first win of the season, and it was in the Carabao Cup. But we come back to the Premier League and we did beat Stoke by 3-0. McTominay getting his first goal for the club, Daniel James as well, and Luke O'Nien. So we go into September. Fulham, we beat them by 3-0. So at this point I thought, yes, here we go. We're going to climb up the league now. We're going to be absolutely fine. Chelsea came to town and it was an absolute cracker of a game. But we did lose by 4-2. Went back into the Carabao Cup and we beat Newport County by 1-0. It was a very, very tight game there indeed. Went to Brighton and this was the biggest disappointment of the season. We lost by 8-3. It was absolutely insane. And the mad thing is, we didn't even play that badly at all. We made just as many chances as they did, but they scored every single time they went forward. And I could not believe what I was seeing. As soon as they got it to 5, 6, 7, particularly 8, I could not believe what I was seeing. But I thought, shit, I'm going to get sacked here. We did go to Bournemouth and we got ourselves a 1-0 win straight after the back of that 8-3 loss. Ben Broughton on the score sheet there. Then it was Newcastle. It was the first time where derby I've been involved in this save, and we drew 3-3, an absolute classic. I think it was actually a last-minute Lewis Morgan goal that saved the day there. I think it was. Yes, it was. You could see there. Then we took on Burnley away from home, and we lost by 2-0. But then we had Chelsea in the Carabao Cup 4th round where we did win. We drew 2-2 and then won on penalties, which was absolutely cracking. The Carabao Cup was definitely something that we'll be talking about later on. Leicester did not mean to go on their squad. Leicester we did draw 2-2 with. Then Watford 1-1. Took on Southampton and we won by 3-2. So we started to pick up points here, be it draws or scraping the odd win. Because at this point, we were really lingering between 18th and 17th. We were jumping in and out the relegation zone like no tomorrow. That was pretty much the full sort of gist of the first half of the season. Then we took on Manchester City where we lost by 4-2. We lost 2-0 to... we beat Manchester United 2-0. I completely forgot about that. Will Grigg with a late brace, which was absolutely fantastic. Then we were brought firmly back down to earth by West Ham when we won by 2-0. We lost to Arsenal 4-0. We lost to Spurs 1-0. It was pretty shit. It was pretty shit at this point, and we did draw 3-3 with Wolves, the last game of 2020. But let's just go back to this game as well, where we did beat Spurs by 4-2 in the Carabao Cup quarter-final. As you can imagine, at this point I thought, shit, we might actually be able to win a trophy here, even though the aim was purely to try and stay up in this division. So anyway, January come round and we lost 3-1 to Manchester United. We then went to Portsmouth for the first leg of the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, where we won by 4-0. Liverpool beat us, absolutely smashed us 5-0. Everton, we managed to defeat them by 1-0. Daniel James on the score sheet again. As you can see, he's becoming, or has become, pretty much our most important player. Then we went away from home to Norwich, got ourselves a win there as well. We did draw 1-1 in the Carabao Cup semi-final leg 2, or the second leg, against Portsmouth, which means that we are now through to the Carabao Cup final. I was losing my shit. I thought this couldn't get any perfect, because I try, when I play Football Manager, I think, I want to win a trophy every single time I start a new season. I want to win at least. I want to finish the season with at least a bit of silverware somewhere. So anyway, we take on Stoke next up in the league and we draw 1-1. Then we take on Fulham where we win 2-1. So at this point we're starting to climb the league quite considerably. But then we took on Chelsea and did lose by 3-1. Then Brighton we won by 1-0. Huddersfield we beat them 3-2 in the Carabao Cup final. At the time, Huddersfield were 4th in the championships. They'd done brilliantly to get where they were. We went 2-0 down, I believe. I think it was 2-0 down or something like that. Or we at least went a goal behind, but we did win this game by 3-2. It was Brereton, Daniel James and Cummings all coming together to get us a bit of silverware, which was absolutely amazing, absolutely fantastic. Then we went to Bournemouth and we won by 4-2. Then now the second time-away derby of the season, and it was a 1-1 draw. It was a really, really poor game. Barely any chances in it. Pretty shocking. Then the rest of the season, as you can see, beat Burnley by 2-1. Drew with Watford. Lost to Leicester. So our form at this point is getting very, very inconsistent indeed. It does definitely tail off. Because around this point, around the time where we did win the Carabao Cup. We were literally looking on 10th and 9th place, and we were kind of mid-table, and we were looking really, really good. Then we did start to tail off. We lost 4-2 to Southampton, lost 2-0 to City, lost 5-0 to Manchester United. We drew 1-1 with West Ham, went to Wolves, and we won by 3-2, and then we ended the season with a terrible 4-1 defeat against Spurs. So I shall now show you the Premier League table and where we did finish. And there we have it. We finished 14th, guys, which was absolutely remarkable. Stuart Donald set us the task of making sure, or at least, try not to get relegated. That was basically the aim. We finished 14th, and for a lot of the season, or the second half of the season, we were kind of 9th, 10th, 11th, sometimes 8th at times. And because, of course, we did win the Carabao Cup, we've now qualified for Europe, at least the qualifying rounds, which is absolutely insane. Stoke, Brighton and Everton did get relegated, and funnily enough, Everton actually offered me the job. I think this was just after the Carabao Cup final win. Everton did offer me the manager's role there, which of course I did turn down. And it was Manchester United who won the league, losing just 3 games all season. That was a really good return for them. Chelsea, City and Liverpool making up the Champions League places, with Arsenal and Spurs in the Europa League. Newcastle finishing just outside there as well. And I was really getting pissed off because for quite some time, like I say, when we were hovering around sort of 9th and 10th, it was us going above Newcastle, then they were going above us, and it was vice versa, and it was a really good battle. But then, like I say, towards the back end of the season, we had a really tough run of games with City, Liverpool, Chelsea, United, losing all of them pretty much, and we just saw our form just completely dip, and we fell down the table quite a bit. But yeah, so that is the league table, and I'm really, really happy with that first season in the Premier League. Couldn't really get much better. A decent finish in the Premier League in the table, and a League Cup win. You can't get much better than that. So far my Sunderland career is looking absolutely excellent. We'll have a look at the goal scorer charts as well for you. I know you guys like to see these kind of things. So our top goal scorer was Daniel James with 18 goals. It was absolutely insane. Roberts as well, new man who come in. He got himself 10 assists. Bowling Mumba got the most yellow cards. Scott McTominay got 3 red cards. But Daniel James did get 5 Man of the Match awards as well. But yeah, it was absolutely excellent. We'll have a look at some of our players, and we'll just see how they did. Now for goals, we have Niall Ennis, who I did send out on loan to Charlton for the season, and he scored 25 goals and 4 assists. So next year, I think we're going to have one hell of a player on our hands. We did purchase him about midway through the Championship season, and he played a bit part role, and I thought we'll send him out on loan because he is only a youngster. We did get him from Wolves, sent him out on loan to Charlton, and he's absolutely smashed it. The top goal scorer in the Championship as well. But in the Premier League, Daniel James, like we saw, 18 goals, 6 assists from the wing, which is absolutely insane. Brereton, the striker, got 15 goals. Jason Cummins got 12. Will Grigg, who didn't get as many games as I would have liked, only 13 starts, and I did bring him on for the last sort of 10-15 minutes of games here and there, and he did get 6 goals and 3 assists, and then there's just quite a few scattered about. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's the way my first season in the Premier League with Sunderland has gone. And how good does this CV look now? I just love the way it looks. Hired as Sunderland manager, we won the Czech Trade Trophy, we won the League One title, we won the Championship title, personal awards. I won the Sky Bet Championship Manager of the Year. We won the Carabao Cup as well, and it just looks awesome. In just 3 seasons, there's 4 trophies for Sunderland. I'm absolutely loving it, guys. But again, if you are enjoying these videos, please hit the like button for me. It is massively, massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sassy Army. And do not forget to hit that notification bell so you keep up to date with every upcoming upload. But for now, you take care and stay jammy.